Do I have everybody's attention now?
Here's the cover. Can he do it? Kick out at 2.
Yes, hello, it is I, Danhausen here, sent to you today by JB Housing and PK Housing, whoever they may be, for an intro to Kick Out at 2. Yes, hello, it is a Kick Out at 2. That means you win still. So, do that. It is about wrestling, and it's on YouTube and podcast. So, listen to it or be cursed, I guess. Okay, see you later.
Yeah, episode 2 coming at ya. Thought I'd do a better intro than the first one. If you watched last week or 2 weeks ago, we very awkwardly... Last episode, we just awkwardly kind of like looked at each other and went, we're recording now, shit.
Yeah. And away we go.
Yeah, that would talk about a soft opening.
Yeah.
But it's straight here we are into episode 2.
It's rolling as well.
And this is rolling. Yeah. We've got everything going perfectly to plan as it's meant to. And we've even got a specific topic.
Yes, we have a topic this week.
What's the topic, PK? I'm Jay, by the way. This is PK.
Check us out, Kick Out 2 on Instagram. And all the socials, check us out on there. Follow us. Like, subscribe. Be cool.
Subscribe, especially because that's how you know when an episode drops. And email us as well if you want us. If imagine we say some stuff that probably riles some people, or they go, "Oh, I agree with that." Let us know. Email us.
I'm happy to argue with you online. It's funny.
Yeah.
Kickout2@gmail.com. No, kickout2podcast@gmail.com.
Wow.
Yeah. Cool. Right. So the subject this week is video games.
Right. Okay.
So what are you doing?
I got caught on my thing. Video games. So not just any old video games, of course.
Wrestling video games.
Yep. Which when you brought this up, there's two reasons, and I agree to this. One, give the man his video games. Look at this guy. He bleeds video games. He makes me look like I've never played a video game in my life. If you follow PK on Instagram, his posts are just constantly him trying games, other video games.
Yeah, it's my personal Instagram, xpk13x. It's just all video games, just what I'm playing. It's this setup, so you'll recognise it. But yeah,
but you are. If I want to know something about video games, I will ask you first. I reckon. I think this you and maybe my mate Dizzo. You both up there on that. So that was why I went, if we're going to talk about video games, I'll let you have the podium for it. And two, wrestling video games are probably how I got introduced to a lot more wrestling than... If there wasn't video games, I would have had to have gone off what was on TV.
Yeah. And
back in the day, early 90s, 4 channels, maybe an hour, that's on once every 6 months that I catch a glimpse of, I wouldn't have seen half the stuff I did. So I do think wrestling video games really need to have a light shone on them, because they did a lot for the business, a lot. But you're going to be my guide through this, although we have already established off camera that I have to guide you through one, which people might be shocked at.
Yeah. Do you want to start it? Go on, you start yours. I want to see.
Where I begin?
Yeah. What's your first pick? It's one of them. It's not best or worst. It's just...
Well, the first one I'd want to talk about was the one that got me kind of like going, this is interesting, because I was aware of wrestling.
Yeah.
I'd seen the odd match. We're going back to very young, so I can't even get into the real specifics of what I saw, why I saw it. But I remember seeing a wrestling video game, knowing what it was. Like, it's not like I'm going, what's that? What does that mean? Oh, it's a wrestling video game, and it was WWF Attitude.
Right.
I'm assuming it was I want to say the PlayStation, but that feels like that was too far forward.
Yeah.
It might have been what was it on? Attitude?
Warzone?
Yeah. Early.
WWF Warzone?
No, not Warzone. Was Warzone the first one? Or was it Attitude?
Yeah, what Warzone?
Oh, Warzone, then it'll be Warzone.
WWF Warzone on PS1?
It might be, yeah.
Yeah, the one with the vignettes. And
right. And the moving was like...
Yeah, it's
like that.
It's on my list, yeah. Yeah, it's like WWF Attitude Warzone.
It was quite advanced for what it was, because like you had commentary.
Yeah.
You had vignettes, which did we spend some time watching them? Like,
We have done. We have sat and watched a lot of the vignettes. They are.
I might
if you
make a
wanna
little
see something funny,
compilation of them.
Just watch them. Yeah,
I might
they're
make a
brilliant.
compilation of them and put them up on our Instagram
Yeah.
because they are funny. But some of them, like, I think is British Bulldog on there, and it's awful.
Yeah,
Like his
yeah.
acting is terrible. But
He's just got the worst accent for a UK wrestler. You know what I mean? Because it's like it's not even.
it's just gruff. It's just gruff.
Yeah, it's just a shit northern accent.
Yeah.
Like at least like, you know, people like Pac who've got a really strong Geordie accent. It's funny, like because it's so strong. Whereas the northern accent of like, you know, if you're not heavy Manchester or heavy Liverpool, if you're like me who doesn't really have an accent, or you have more of a
Well,
stronger
traditional accent.
yeah, then it's just like
It's like Davy Boy's in the room.
yeah.
But yeah, there was.
Gonna beat you off. Me and you were gonna fight.
But yeah, I think that was responsible for me discover. I discovered Gold Dust through that. Through that, I'm pretty sure he's on that game.
He certainly is, and he's the weird one. He's where he embraces the sort of
Yeah, the technology and just
Yeah.
went with it. His music, his costume, I remember selecting him and my mates being like, why have you gone as him?
yeah.
And I'm in my head, I'm going,
Same reason, but in Mankind, because he was the he
was weird.
He messed up his promos on there. Are so
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it was like I was doing it because I thought he was cool and
Yeah.
different. But I think as well it worked because then they'd be
The
like,
mind
"Oh,
games. You like playing mind
games,
Yeah.
just like Goldust." Yeah. So it is mad. It's not a good game to play. The playability was always awful. They kind of like you moved awkwardly. And to do a hit would be like if you're watching this on camera
Yeah.
like that. There would be no crowd. You could hear the crowd, but it was all
Yeah.
black, empty
Yeah.
seats. I'm amazed they even attempted to do the intros. They did do some like I feel like there's a vague attempt to have them walk
They
into
just sort of
them.
wiggle down.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
And the finishes were like you had to press pause and go, hold on, mate, and you go right. I've got to go up, down, left.
It was like
right.
similar to Mortal Kombat.
Yeah,
You had that,
but
that sort
it
of-
had the accuracy was totally low. So
Yeah.
you'd unpause it, you'd do it wrong, and then go, oh, just because your mate's like, well, I want to see the Stone Cold Stunner.
yeah.
Let's try and watch it. But yeah, awful game, but at the same time, it holds a special place.
Yeah, that was on my list because you could sort of create a character as well, and it went a bit wrong.
I
but-
think you could, yeah. Now you've said that, I don't think we ever really did it because
Yeah.
it was a pain in the ass to make a
Yeah.
character. So yeah, I don't think we ever did one though.
So yeah, that's in there for mine.
Okay.
So, but my first choice would be the WrestleMania arcade game,
oh fucking hell.
where it was more cartoony. It was based more on sort of like the same sort of animation as like Streets of Rage or stuff like
Oh
that.
yeah.
So you had Doink the Clown on there, but he'd then use a big comedy mallet and stuff
Really?
like that. Yeah, Undertaker, Tombstone. He'd actually have a tombstone as a weapon,
Oh, that's sick.
using it. Bossman had his truncheon and stuff like that, and it was like a bit more arcadey. It was fun. It was really good.
I've never played that.
We were playing it back at one of the shows we just played with the Voodoo Glow Skulls. They had like a arcade machine that was like, you know, like one of the ones where you can pick any game.
Yeah.
And like we found that, and I was just playing that for like about 45 minutes. It was great. It was so much fun.
Find this now.
Yeah,
I've never played that. That sounds boss if you can cartoon it up.
yeah. It's like it's still the same, but then like I said, like Undertaker comes out with the gravestone, Doink the Clown with the hammer. Yeah.
Well, any chance I've got to play as Doink as well.
Yeah. That's where I first got into Doink and saw him. I was just like, a clown as a wrestler. This is awesome.
Which, by the way, again, we're up to season 2. I don't know if he's watched it by the time we're filming this. By the time this is going out, but on the latest series of Dark Side of the Ring, this is my normal bit where I just push Dark Side of the Ring on PK. Doink the Clown episode.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
I've seen a bit of it because
Watch it. Just watch it.
I can't remember who we were. I was talking to someone about Donnie the Clown. I was like, there you go.
Oh, you know what else we've forgotten to do? Our sign of the episode.
Right.
Right. We haven't got it written out, but I've keep them as notes on here. Signs of the episode. So I'm going to pick this one because we didn't prep properly here. And we'll go in the same vein as keep it on topic because I imagine we'll still be talking about this around the time this is released. Best sign I saw: CM Punk fears Blue Cane.
I'll put it there.
Yeah.
Like that.
There you go.
There we go.
CM Punk fears Blue Cane. That guy has gotten around. I saw that on an episode of Dynamite.
Really?
Yes.
That is amazing.
Blue Cane, you're doing so well, mate. Keep going. Respect.
Yeah. The fact that he comes out to snow,
snow
instead of fire.
It's such a all it is just funny enough. This is like gaming. You know when you click in your player and you go, what's the costume difference? Oh, press square instead to do the different costume.
Yeah.
It's like if Kane had that as an option in the games. Oh, Blue Kane.
It's just like if you both go as Kane.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, great. I get the second Kane. I get Blue Kane.
Could you do that? You know, in the early games?
Yeah.
Like if I went as Kane and you went as Kane.
Yeah.
Did one of us have a different costume, or were we both in the same costume?
At a certain point, it did. It changed. It went from like Kane with
the one arm,
and Kane
with the full suit.
Yeah.
But back in the early days, like we're talking Warzone and stuff.
Yeah, no, it was just you were both. If you both went as Stone, no, you couldn't.
Could you not both be?
I don't think you could both because it was like blanked out. It was like
I think it wasn't possible.
Yeah,
because I'm not picturing. I don't remember being confused, and I don't remember being like, "Oh, I prefer that."
I remember being confused, but like, no.
No, you.
What's happening?
All right, no, that was a good shout. I'm gonna look into that one.
Yeah, is. It's a fun game, and because like I said, it's only like a 2D one. It's good.
But sometimes they're the best.
Yeah.
Like even when games got a bit more advanced, and you can like Tekken is a good example where you can see all the character and everything, but still keep it 2D.
Yeah.
For the fighting boss. See that person put up? They noticed like they went Street Fighter don't have many streets in it.
It does in the first one.
Yeah.
On Chung Li's on her map. On her level, that's like the street.
Yeah, but someone had pointed out, like, this level, it's an airport. This level is a temple. It's not a street.
Yeah, that's what, that's...
there you go.
Yeah,
makes you think. My next one, then, I might as well go chronologically, because I feel like there's no other way to go. So, Warzone or whatever it was, must have been that. After that came... I feel like Attitude was exactly the same as Warzone. So then the next game where I was like, whoa, was I always loved the title and I used to say the title in full just to annoy my mates. So World Championship Wrestling versus New World Order Revenge.
Right, yeah.
I prefer saying it like that because I used to be like, it's the longest title of any video game, technically, if you think about it. Probably didn't, but I used to say that as a brag.
One that you knew,
Yeah, but that game, because that was the first time you could
Was that on N64?
Yeah, it was on N64.
Right, okay.
It's where you could move around the ring, like camera-wise. You got a bit more of a look of the ring. There was people in the crowd. You got the entrances.
Yeah.
And this is where then I'm seeing like new wrestlers again. And I was watching WCW at the time. Yeah. So I'm seeing Scott Hall. Yeah. And Kevin Nash. And I'm like, I can be Scott. I can be the outsiders. Yeah. This is insane. This is great. And I remember loving it. I think I also enjoyed being Psychosis. Yeah. He was amazing in that game, considering that I don't think he was ever in that high regard in WCW. Yeah. But in the game, Psychosis was boss. Sting had a boss. Sting would come down from the... If you did the Battle Royal Rumble mode... Yeah. Because I think that was the first game to do it as well.
All right, okay. I've not actually played this game, so
yeah. Well,
even though you put me in such high regard as
so it's in this. It was
a
done
video game player. There's quite a lot of wrestling games that I just.
Have you played You've played WrestleMania?
2000.
2000s.
That's
So it's Acclaim.
yeah.
So it's that same
Right.
setup, right? But I want to say Warzone and Attitude. If there was a Battle Royal or a Royal Rumble, I don't remember it, or it wasn't that good. But at least in the Royal Rumble in the WCW versus NWO game, there was a proper countdown clock that would go off.
Yeah.
The people would come in, but when Sting came in during the Rumble, the whole thing would stop, and he would come from the rafters.
That's
The
cool.
camera would pan
Yeah.
up, and he would come down into the
Yeah.
center of the ring with his bat and everything, and it was like everyone converge on him.
Yeah.
Because
him.
he's going to go sick with that bat right now and knock
Yeah.
us all out. Really good game. Really turned my attention away from WWF
Yeah.
and did the job that it was probably meant to do. And was a lot easier to play.
Yeah.
And also, again, this is where you're going from just you and your mate playing to 4 of you playing. And that made a big difference. You got 4 lads who can all play at the same time.
Yeah.
It was chaos. I remember that my mate who had it, her mum would be like, right, what you playing? And when we said, she was like, right, you got 2 hours. Like,
And then you're out.
and then you're back out on the street.
Yeah.
Like, because I'm not dealing with you in 2 hours' time. You're gonna get worse and worse and worse. Getting louder. But yeah, good game, really good. Enjoyed that.
My next choice, just mentioned it then, WrestleMania 2000. Easily one of my favourite wrestling games of all time. Just for the fact that you can fully customise a character to the point of the moveset, their appearance, everything. I spent, and I still do now, Becky hates it every time I get a new wrestling game. Because I will sit for hours and hours and hours creating a perfect moveset. Every single move I will make sure from every single punch, every light punch, every heavy punch, every light kick, every taunt, I will fully customise. And it is from that game.
I was about to say with the WCW one, again, the customization, I think it was there, but we didn't touch it. Didn't bother. WrestleMania, yes, I remember spending ages going through every move.
Yeah.
Every single move.
You can create your own moveset as well. And to me, that just like blew my mind that like I can have Undertaker's heavy punch.
Yeah.
And then the stunner as a finisher, or stunner as a signature move.
Yeah.
And then something else as a finisher.
I loved that. There was some moves which were just just insane, and you just have them just as in your back catalogue. They're clearly like more or less they'd be a finisher for another character, but you just have them. Oh, and just
as a normal move.
And then you and your mate, if you could, obviously you can make a few wrestlers.
Yeah.
So then you and your mate both test out your custom wrestlers, and it's like insane move set going on back and forth. WrestleMania, no, that was good. That was very good. That was where I began to go, oh, this is beginning to look realistic. Which when you look back now, Jesus Christ.
Oh God, it doesn't. But back then it did.
Some reason it did. Did it have story mode as well?
Yeah, it did.
That was another big thing. It was the first one to have the story mode. WCW and all that, they didn't have a story mode, and you would have the character. Yeah, because you'd have your list of matches, and you didn't know you were going to be next, and then you finish your match and your character's celebrating, and then you'd hear the McMahon music start, and you'd be like, oh, and out would come Vince McMahon with this poor graphic go like, and then it would immediately hold up a microphone, and it would have the words come up, and he'd just be going like that. And no, very good memories of that game. Very good. Didn't you say you make the same custom character every time though?
Not every time. Do you have a name for your custom character when you do make them?
Not enough of a gamer to really.
When I was younger, it was always Psycho Phil. Don't know why. That was like.
Was that a premonition of CM Punk?
Yeah, possibly. yeah. And then like in later, I used the Butcher for ages before
the Butcher.
The Butcher, and then now the Reaper. I like using Reaper.
Just gotta make sure you spell that right, or it could be.
Well, yeah. Well, either way, it's gonna be scary. So you don't want to cross them.
No. Fucking hell. Yeah, 2000 was a very good one. I feel like then that was the next step up, really. again, I don't know why WCW lost the. Maybe they were hemorrhaging money or whatever, but they had that software, and that would have probably been the next game for them.
Yeah.
But instead, Acclaim jumped ship and go to WWF and
Probably
create
just for
that
the ratings,
game.
so that WF could pay them more money.
Yeah.
Go, right, Vince McMahon isn't stupid. He would have gone, that looks like a really good game. We'll have that.
Yeah.
And just copied it straight over.
Have you ever watched any of the the old promotions for the game?
No. Oh, they've always been on WWE and WF have always been on top for the wrestling promotions. They've always been funny.
Yeah, for being well.
Even the recent ones with like Logan Paul on it, I'm like, that was actually pretty cool.
If you watch some like old episodes of Raw when it came out,
Yeah.
when they're going in the back like to talk to another wrestler, the wrestler's just playing it.
Yeah.
Like Test is playing as Test.
Yeah.
Just like and there's obviously that famous photo of Foley and Rock playing
Yeah.
as well. But no, it was very much a big thing, that game. It was a very big thing around my circles.
Yeah, that sort of cemented my fandom of wrestling and video games. It kind of was like, I love both of these things.
Yeah, that's a big difference as well, because the previous two, I'm like playing the video games so I can be with wrestling, because I've not really. By the time WrestleMania 2000 is out, I'm watching wrestling every Saturday morning.
Yeah.
I've maybe been able to get a hold of someone who's taping Raw for me to watch of a night.
Yeah, I was watching it on Sky One, SmackDown on Sky One.
Whenever there was a chair shot, it would go, and then cut to an audience.
Yeah,
cut
cut
and
to
you just
an
hear the
audience.
clang, and then come back and
I had my little wrestling diary. I love that. Yeah.
And I was watching pay-per-views and stuff. So then this was just like, I can't get enough of wrestling. What else can I do? I'll play this game as well. And you had the WrestleMania 4 soundtrack came out the same year.
Yes. Oh. I still have that somewhere.
Well, that's what made us realize we could do this podcast.
Yeah.
Was because we put it on a 3-hour journey. One of us said, I think it was X-Pac's music. And we're like, I used to love it, but I don't know if I'd like it anymore. And we put it on, and then we started just going through the whole playlist.
Yeah, that's how the whole podcast started. We went on a road trip down to see some friends, and I just had the idea of talking about we just started talking about wrestling, and then you said, I don't know if I know enough. I'm like, I don't know if I know enough. But then the entire 3.5-hour journey was we only spoke about wrestling, and didn't even like scratch the surface of what we originally started talking about at the beginning of the drive.
Yeah, we just can talk about wrestling. The other thing that had is when the wrestlers came out, the video was actually the video.
Yeah, and it really grainy at the
grainy. It would use about like 5 stills to make, but they'd animate it together. So I remember Xbox being like a still of him like that, and a still of him like that, and it just flashed between them. So he was like going, but it worked.
Because you only saw a split second of it. Well, it was.
And then Kane, you'd watch Kane's one, so he would do the fire. That was a real game changer. That was a game changer. Which then brings me on to, I'm going to talk about it.
In fact, hold on one second. I'll show you. No.
Oh, not a clap moment. You just saw behind the curtain there.
Yeah. It's I've even got a pin badge.
Oh, sick.
A WrestleMania 2000.
Oh, sorry, it's THQ, not Acclaim. THQ. That's who did it, not Acclaim. THQ.
I think that was from Pin Me Pay Me. Little plug for a small pin badge company.
I'll carry on then. So THQ made the follow-up game.
Yep.
Which you've never played, apparently.
I've not, no.
Which I'm shocked at.
No Mercy?
No Mercy.
No Mercy, yeah. I think I was too busy still creating my character on WrestleMania 2000.
So No Mercy is just not... I'm not underselling it when I say more of the same. But I mean that in the best possible way. Where... Oh, bloody hell. Just heard that through the podcast. PK just knocked his beer on his mic stand. He's listening, sorry.
Undertaker's music.
Yeah, it was the proper... the customization was just as good, if not better. You had much more moves. You had the story went deeper, and longer. There was more backstage stuff, so you could throw your opponent through the backstage area, and you would go into the backstage area to carry on fighting in a no DQ setting. The graphics were slightly better. Again, I probably thought it looked really realistic then. Probably doesn't now. But it was just more of the same, but good. It was a really good sequel. And again, I remember losing hours and hours to that.
Sometimes though, when there is a good game, like the first game, the second game is always better because they've gone, oh shit, this works, and they can tweak everything like. Any good gaming franchise like Tony Hawk's 2.
You know what? I know what is immediately better. So I think in WrestleMania, cage matches were a bit painful to do.
Yeah.
But I think when No Mercy came around, they were easier in the sense of like the playability.
Yeah.
And then they'd introduced Hell in a Cells.
Ah, right.
And they were like a whole new kettle of fish to play with.
Yeah.
And that was, again, I don't think you could throw someone off the cell, but you could. There was like specifically where you can see one animated part of the cage where you power drive them on that they're going through.
Yeah.
And I think it had more. I want to say it had more little Easter eggs as well. Like you could play as Earl Hebner and stuff like that. But it was good. More of the same, kind of what we talked about, but really refining the art of the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, you should dig your 64 out and play it.
Yeah, I'll see. See, I can't play it on this telly because it's not like an RGB telly.
No,
so,
you need to get
an old. I think my TV upstairs can play it. So, what have we got next?
What have you got?
I've got WWE Champions, which is actually a mobile game.
What?
Which it's a really it's basically like Candy Crush, but a WWE version.
What? So like, in my head, Candy Crush is like Tetris.
Sort of, yeah. You've got gems on the board, and
yeah.
So you have to, like match the black ones, match the red ones, or whatever. But you choose your two characters go against each other, and you have like special moves, like red move, black move, green move, whatever. So you get the red move,
right,
and then you can use your special moves. It's really good. It's
but it's Candy Crush, but doing the Candy Crush activates the move.
Yeah, doing the you build up the little bars and then they do the move.
I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like that's such a that's the difference between WWF and WWE. WWF, the games I played, you're literally smacking people with chairs. WWE now is you've got to align 4 gems. Those gems will activate a move.
It's a good game. It's a good time waster for.
It does sound like that, and I feel like you are a bit of you do like a good time wasted.
Oh, you can sit on the toilet for 2 hours and play it. It's one of them where you're like.
I remember coming here once, and he was playing a jet washing game.
Yeah, Power Wash Simulator. It's well good.
There you go.
You'll be happy about that. They've just unleashed some Back to the Future content for that, where you can wash the DeLorean and stuff. They've got a SpongeBob where you can wash all the Bikini Bottom.
I mean, I don't know whether I do want to, or whether because of I want to get this urge to do it, that I have got to it and bury it deep down inside. You stop summoning the Undertaker.
Right, I've finished that drink now.
Yeah,
so.
put it there. No, never heard of that. I might. If I end up downloading that and playing that, I'm gonna hate you so much.
You're gonna download and play it.
I probably am. Okay. So after that, I remember SmackDown. SmackDown was a weird one because SmackDown had some things that.
Which SmackDown? There's about 15
I know.
different
I'm going to talk
SmackDowns.
about the first SmackDown.
Right.
SmackDown.
Okay.
So SmackDown was weird because.
Was that on PS1? Was it?
That was PS1 still.
Did bring the pain or?
I think it was just called SmackDown. Was it? If it was anything, it would be named after something The Rock would say.
Shut your mouth. It might be shut your mouth.
He was in the height of his power then. So we had
Yeah.
SmackDown games. Here we go. It was just called SmackDown.
All right. Okay.
Number
okay.
2 was called Know Your Role.
Know Your
Number
Role.
3 was Here Comes the Pain.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Um,
Okay. See, I missed. I played them, but not enough to distinguish between them.
So it was. Well, this was the thing. So this was a THQ again,
Yeah.
and they'd taken sort of what they had done on the 64 and put it in the PlayStation, whatever you call it. I'm not a gamer. The drive, the software, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some people who are into games are screaming at me right now. It looked visually a lot different, and whilst there were similarities, it played very different as well.
Right.
And I remember not really enjoying it. I used to think the characters moved like if you performed a suplex in the 1064 game, you would see the effort put in, up, back, down, slam. In SmackDown, I remember it would just be like bish bash bosh,
Yeah.
just fast, and it felt a bit unnatural movement.
Yeah.
And because of that unnatural movement, it took away from the game.
The other game felt a bit more clunkier and a bit real.
Yeah,
If
like
that makes sense.
no, I get what because it is a real clunky. I don't know what
Junkyard dog out there.
Wrestling is like kind of a real clunky thing. It isn't that smooth, which we'll get to on another game coming up. But this felt like it was hard to do a move. And when he did do a move, it kind of like went into its own mode and just threw you about. It looked good though. Like you would have people from the crowd taking photos.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the videos were dead good. The loading screens was infamous because of you had different wrestlers as the loading screen, like pointing at it, and with the like rocks would say like "Know Your Role" or whatever.
Yeah.
And everyone always remembers the time the mum comes in to do the washing. It's the Trish Stratus loading.
Oh yeah,
screen.
Sable.
And you just be just be like, it's not like this all the time.
Yeah.
I'm not looking at dirty stuff on this PlayStation. It's not even possible yet. And the custom. I remember the custom thing being a bit annoying as well. It wasn't as good as the 64. It was a proper Debbie Downer, but a lot more of my mates liked it.
Yeah.
And that's why then they carried on, because I just remember a lot of my mates enjoying the SmackDown games.
Yeah. Well, this is not on my list, but it's a game that I've been playing recently, the AEW Fight Forever game.
That would have been what I was going to talk about next.
It's very reminiscent to those. It's more arcadey.
It's arcadey.
It's have you played it?
I've played it, yeah.
Yeah. Well, what do you think of it?
I liked it. What I do like about it, in the difference between that and SmackDown, is it gets the clunkiness back.
Yeah.
I like the fact. The only thing that I got annoyed about while I was playing it was I was doing tag teaming, and for love nor money, neither me nor my mate, who's the one who owns it and has played it, could figure out that when you go for the pin, obviously you can come in to stop the tag. I could not work out to come in to stop the tag. I swear I pressed every goddamn button.
Yeah.
And it took us ages, so I think it did it by fluke.
Yeah.
To stop the guy stopping the pin. But other than that, I had real fun with it, and like setting up like double moves, and you can get weapons out, and it is a bit like. It is a bit like, considering I hadn't played it and I'm not much of a gamer.
Yeah.
He went just do a single player and just see what you feel. So I went as Owen Hart, which I've never been able to play as Owen Hart.
Yeah.
So I was made up that I could do that. I say that he probably was on Warzone.
Yeah, he was.
He must have been on Warzone. So
orange,
but I probably
like hazard gear.
Yeah, but I probably didn't go for him because I probably didn't realize how cool he was back then. And then
Dead good.
Oh. And then I had so much fun playing
no
as
dead
Owen.
wrestlers in this.
This is the dead wrestler season, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just remember having tons of fun playing it, and I won, and it even gave me like a Meltzer 4 out of 5 for the match. And
Nice.
I was like made up with myself with that, and yeah, it was a lot about it. I felt more like I'm playing a video game again.
Yeah, it was more because I'm not played the latest WWE 2K
2K23.
24.
Is that always a
Year
2K24?
ahead. Yeah, it came out 2 or 3 months ago.
Oh right, but they called it 2K24.
Yeah, because it's
okay.
always
that makes sense.
year in front. 2K23 is really good, but yeah, well, let's go off my actual list that I've written down.
Go on.
It will be 2K13 on Xbox, and that's the one with, funny enough, with CM Punk on the front of it. But the reason I like that game the most is the storyline is the entire Attitude Era.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
But with Punk and that in it.
No. Punk's not in the Attitude. Like, it's just sort of he's on the cover of it, and then the story is because it's not like it's only the more recent ones that were sort of like Daniel Bryan's story, The Rock story, John Cena's story, Stone Cold story.
Right.
The last 4 or so. But 2013, it was just CM Punk's on the front, but the storyline is you've always got your creative character storyline, which is always a bit daft and shit goes on, or the actual wrestler storyline that was focusing on the Attitude Era. So it was just sort of like, going back on all the really old matches from the Attitude Era.
Oh, right, okay, no, I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, it's I might have it down there. I'm not sure.
Did the wrestlers voice the characters then as well?
Yes, yeah, they did. Unlike John Cena in, I think it's
2K21, isn't it? Because 2020 happened and they couldn't get some wrestlers to get in the studio because they were isolated.
Yeah, so they have just got some random person.
Like, isn't
John
Edge
Cena.
Doesn't Edge sound like totally not like Edge at
Yeah,
all?
John Cena is not even remotely. It sounds like you've just chosen like random voice 3 or something like that for John Cena.
My name is John Cena.
Yeah, but like someone doing a bad impression of John Cena.
No, yeah, that's interesting. That so do you get to like do? That's interesting that it's like the Attitude story, considering then this is then the PG era that would have been released. So do you get to do some of like the Attitude matches?
Yeah.
Like,
I think like the Dudley's match was in there, and it does the sort of like you start playing, and then it cuts to the clip of the actual match.
Okay.
And like it does, then it started doing that on the later games, where you're playing it and then you do a certain move and then it cuts out and it actually uses the clip from the match, and then goes back and then you play it then.
Okay. No, that does sound interesting because like obviously you can't. What was I going to say then? Because Fight Forever's getting the downloadables, so you can now do Stadium Stampedes.
Yeah.
So that'd be interesting to see if other games start copying this, where you just start downloading.
Well, what's annoying is like just release the game completed, because half it's took that long to make Fight Forever that some of them aren't even in it.
Well, the wrestlers, you mean?
Yeah, like you've not got Brody King.
Yeah.
You've not got Danhausen. You've not got like Buddy Matthews.
Don't know. I think it's smart. I think it is. If they've said we're not going to do any other games. This is the game. We're just going to keep adding to it.
That's fair enough. But like, I don't know. It's took that long to release that half the wrestlers that have joined.
Because Cody's on it.
Yeah. Like Cody's on it, and he's been and gone.
Punk's on it.
Yeah, Punk's only just gone.
Yeah, but he was still like flipping and flopping, wasn't he? Really?
Yeah.
I know what you mean. It's mad that it just goes through the Attitude Era on a newer game. I just can't picture them even entertaining or wanting to look back at that. And for the audience that they have now, that's insane. I'm being tempted to try and play that.
Yeah, it's definitely a good one.
There isn't really. You see, this is where you might need to guide me because I don't really remember much else. There was probably a really, really old arcade game I probably played, or on like a NES where everyone was 2-bit, and it probably was like Ultimate Warrior and stuff. But
that was probably the home version of WWE of WrestleMania.
Oh no, like it was proper.
Oh right, okay.
2-bit. Looks like done in Mario and Donkey Kong back in the day. They would move about like that. And I think, going off on a tangent, hasn't Sting been in the most wrestling games? Is it Sting?
Probably, because he's been in...
Is it
Because he
Sting?
was in the Impact games, the TNA Impact,
Yeah.
which I've just remembered. They were awesome games for 360. They were really good.
I've never obviously played them.
Because like you had their version of the Money in the Bank match, but with the cross above.
Oh,
the
it's the
top.
X Division.
Yeah, X Division. Like, and you can do all that. That was awesome. I think Kurt Angle was in that as well.
Yeah, it should have been.
Yeah,
He was a big player back then.
yeah.
I
But
think
yes, Sting's probably gonna be in the
it's
most.
Sting or Fleur. I can't remember, but I remember like yeah.
I'd say Sting because of AEW as well.
Yes, yeah, because he's been. Yeah, it must be Sting.
Yeah,
That's
that
why
would make more
I think
sense.
that's why it's come up because he's now in this AEW game.
Because you know WWE, WCW, Impact, AEW.
Mm.
Yeah.
Have you got any others?
Let's have a look. No, not on my list, but there's WWE All Stars. That was really cool. That was more of a cartoony game. That was good fun.
What they just looked more cartoony again.
Because they kind of sort of like were doing it each year, but then every so often they were like, we're not just going to keep doing the same game every year. So All Stars was, they did All Stars, they did Legends as well, that they were slightly different. But the All Stars one was like, you'd hit them and every signature or finisher, they'd go up in the air and then come down and smash.
really?
And, like, you know, it like
like
you know,
Mortal
like,
Kombat style.
yeah, you know, you uppercut, they'd be like, woo, like spin in the air and then smash down. Like the ultimate splash would be like you jump in the air really high and then smash down. So that was a bit more arcadey. That was like more fun.
Then it must be 2K24.
Yeah.
The new one. I've heard that's been getting nothing but rave. My mate got that and said it was like rave. Is it? You can get it, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's been saying like it's really good. Really been enjoying it. It says all the entrances are good. The fact you can play some of the old wrestlers as well.
Yeah.
It was,
I'm still playing 23, like last year's one, because they've got Rey Mysterio story. So I'm kind of like playing through that. I just got obsessed with this like a faction mode where you go against like you sort of unlock different wrestlers like it's like cards, and that's like really fun. So I've been doing that. But yeah, I always do the created, because you get like your own created story, and then usually follow through a wrestler's career, because they've done, like I said, Daniel Bryan, they've done Stone Cold, Rey Mysterio on that one, and I think it's John Cena for the latest one.
the obviously the most fun thing to do on one of these games was you would actually make the wrestler already exists on the game even.
Yeah.
So like you could make Triple H, but then give him Deborah's walk.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
But what like, see, because I like, I'm really bad for achievements. I like getting all the achievements on all the games and stuff like that. If there's any a 2-player one, or one where like you can go against a created character, I'll put all the stats right down to 0. So it's literally 2 or 3 hits, and then I'm like, yes, I won it. I know it's cheating, and I know it's like dead cheesy, but I like doing that. So if it's an easy achievement, I will do that.
It's been like, so anything that's not, because you're the more experienced gamer, so anything that's not been in a game that you would like to see, like that you think is possible. So for example, do you like, I think a good add-on in the Fight Forever game is that MJF is the only character who can like other characters block. He has a block option, but you can also make it so he begs. Like,
yeah,
and it makes your character go like that.
There is, on a couple of games, a move called Possum, where you can literally just sort of like curl over, and if you time it right, you go for the pin straight away, and it's like the sort of schoolboy the roll up pin, which is like really difficult to get out of. That's pretty cool. But yeah, I know what you mean. God, I don't know.
Like, what's that? You know what would be a good one? What's your favorite entrance of all time?
Oh.
Where the guy in the Royal Rumble slid under the ring.
Oh, Titus O'Neil.
What if you could do with
Yeah.
Titus O'Neil if you wanted to? If you press the button, you could go under the ring.
That'd be awesome. That as an entrance and just come out the other side and then just sort of yeah.
I always liked how you could go through tables.
Yeah.
When that got introduced, that was cool. That made me
Yeah.
feel dead good about being able. But that was again another issue with SmackDown. I felt like going through a table was so hard to do because you go and you go and then the table move like that. as you
Yeah,
clip
yeah.
it. Whereas I think in the 64 games it would line up, or you
Yeah.
had to. Yeah, I didn't really
That's
enjoy
that's
that.
a good thing with a lot of wrestling games now. There is so many glitches, and they're so badly made.
It's 2K19, the bad one. The one
Yeah.
that everyone went sick over.
Yeah, because like you'd literally be wrestling and then you just move across. Your player just moved across. Like I slammed someone on the floor and then was walking in to go to cover him and ended up just pushing him out the ring with my feet. And then they just sort of hovered round and it was just like, oh.
I
But-
think there's a whole bunch of videos online you can watch of the glitches in that
Yeah.
game.
They are brilliant. Never been able to go under or through the ring because on a lot of games you've got like, you can break the game.
That
so
would
you
be
go
a good
through.
one. First
Yeah.
one to break the ring.
Yeah. I mean, you can break the ring in. They're called Oh My God moves, OMG moves. I think that was in 2018, 2019, or maybe 2020. I'm not sure. Either way, you could break the ring. It was either break the ring, break the barricade, or break the announce tables.
Oh my god, move.
Yeah.
You spell like, oh my god.
Yeah. So you'd do it from off the turnbuckle low. Instead of just slamming them straight through the table,
Mm.
you'd go up on the turnbuckle and do it through that way. So
That's probably because of was that around the time that they did the whole thing where there's Mark Henry superplex Big Show
yeah,
and the ring just breaks.
yeah,
It's probably that. It's probably to do with that. Oh my god. That's another thing. Commentary. That was the only thing about the 64 games. Commentary.
yeah.
No commentary.
What was it now? Which one?
I think SmackDown had commentary.
Yeah, I think Warzone. JR said, like some of the commentary is a bit sort of like, JR and Jerry's commentary are a bit sort of like creepy.
So on Warzone,
Yeah.
it wasn't. It was on Warzone. I'm pretty sure it's JR and Vince.
Yeah.
Because he was the one doing it. And on Attitude, it's JR and
King.
King. Yeah.
Because JR says, "Oh, beat him like a Maine Coon," and I'm like, it's a bit of a weird thing to like.
Might want to go back and look through some of these.
Yeah,
and
they're
see
like some of the things they say are pretty weird. Pretty weird.
Yeah, but Jerry always had like the dodgiest lines.
Yeah,
But the best lines still to this day. I like. Did you see he came out at a recent show to show he's
No.
all right now? Like,
Yeah.
'cause he had a bit of a health scare.
yeah,
The one of the Uso, I think came out with Jimmy Uso or Jey Uso. He came out just like no, it was with Kevin Owens. He came out and just when the cameras and that break came out and waved to everyone
yeah.
and everything. So he's doing all right now.
Oh, that's good.
Hopefully.
That's good.
So yeah, that was that. And on another slight tangent from that, I don't know why my brain just remembered that. Sonny Kiss has been fired.
Oh, right, okay.
I think okay, that came to my mind was somewhat Triple H with a Deborah walk.
Yeah.
Sonny Kiss has been fired.
Why?
Let go.
Right.
So probably got nothing for Sonny.
Fair enough.
Which yeah, a little bit of random stuff there. Just don't know why my brain just went remembered that. So if you had to pick a favourite, it's WrestleMania 2000.
Probably for the nostalgia. Like thinking off the top of my head, it'd be WrestleMania 2000. How about you?
It's probably No Mercy, because I think I remember playing No Mercy, and I think then I went back to 2000, and it felt not as good. Like I saw the faults.
Yeah.
I think I would maybe still see them faults now. No Mercy to me was a very much the perfected
The polished version.
the polished version.
Of,
and I do remember that vividly, much better. I'd be interested. I'm going to go through some videos, I reckon, over the next couple of weeks before we release this, and try and make like a video package of all the kind of little things that I remember good about the games, and I'll try and find your games as well, and try because if we've forgotten anything, or if you've got a specific game you remember, let us know. Email us at
kickout2podcast@gmail.com.
There you go.
Or on the Instagram, kickout2podcast. Just send us a message or tag us in anything, or just
and
whichever.
let us know if we miss. Like, we did just very much skim over the Impact games. I never played them.
Yeah, they were good. I forgot they existed, but I do remember them being good.
You might remember a specific moment from it, and that way something I could look up on YouTube or whatever. But it's mad that Impact had games. I in my head, that's not even like possible, because they were big, but were they that big? Like, did ECW have games?
Yes, they did.
It did, didn't
Yeah.
it? Was that on the 64?
You'll have to double check.
I'm going to double check that.
And there was also Backyard Wrestling as well on PS1.
Backyard Wrestling, I remember that one.
Yeah, that was good.
ECW video game. Let's have a look.
Sure.
No, it was PlayStation.
PlayStation, yeah.
Yeah, Rob Van Dam hitting. I
Yeah.
think it's Sabu is on the front, getting hit with a chair by Rob Van Dam. ECW Hardcore Revolution. It was
That
called.
was it, yeah. That was good, because that was the first one with, like, that was predominantly hardcore.
There you go. So Acclaim. This is where I got Acclaim from. Acclaim did the Warzone games and then went on to do the ECW game.
Right.
So that's where I got Acclaim from. But yeah.
And now they're the Trios champions.
And now they're the Trios champions. Yeah, God, I forgot all about that. I don't know if I ever played it.
I did play it.
Oh, and another one, ECW Anarchy Rules.
Never played that one.
Again, that's Acclaimed. On the cover, it's got Tommy Dreamer, Sandman, Rhino, and Rob Van Dam.
I'll put it just here.
Oh, yeah, we can put it. Oh, right.
Yeah. Post production.
Yeah, Anarchy Rules. I do not remember that. That one was made by Rockstar. Was it?
Really?
That's the implication I'm getting from that. Oh no, hold on. They nearly made it. They were gonna make it, and then again it went to Acclaim. Wonder what that would have been like. Rockstar making a.
Well, I mean, they made the best table tennis game in the world. So.
Is that a game? What do you mean? Have they?
There's a game, just a table tennis game that Rockstar made, and it's awesome.
Is this up there with the jet washing game?
Probably, but then everyone figured out if you just kept pressing A like that, you just win every match. It was the engine that they used to make the GTA 4, so they were just trying it out using that.
Right.
And then they made GTA 4 used that.
I've got this image of you playing it, but just just pressing it like that, and you're no different than in The Longest Yard, is it? The Great Khali.
Just playing table tennis.
Just on his own against the wall. That's just that's just you.
If you do look back through, if anyone wants to add me on Xbox, XPK13X, same as my Instagram, you can look through some of the awful games that I've played.
He has played.
I've even played the Miley Cyrus game, just for Xbox points, just for achievements. I have played some of the worst games for achievements.
I love how you've ruined your life for Xbox points.
Yes. I'm nearly at 300,000 though. I'm at 200,990, something.
Either way, that's still very close to 300,000.
Yes, I'm very, very close.
Are you going to do something special for when you hit 300,000?
I will. There will be a post, but the annoying thing is I am trying to find achievements that will hit the 3,000 perfectly, because I've got odd.
Oh,
I've played a few games with an odd gamer score, which
would knock it out.
Any gamer knows, and if it pops up with a 7 at the beginning of the game, it's like, I hate this game. And it's either 5 or 10, 20, 50, 100. It's always like,
God, this is why it's so hard to be a gamer now. I do not really pay any attention to any stuff like that. If I do something, I don't even know what that means. I just wander through games and just complete them. as much
enjoy
as I
them.
want.
Just enjoy them like a normal
I
human
just,
being.
yeah, I just
Yeah,
enjoy
no,
them.
I struggle just to enjoy normal video games. I buy the game, look straight through the achievements, and go, right, what can I knock off out of these first?
What we might do is we could do in the future if you just ever decide to get No Mercy, and if you can hook it up to your telly, because it's an older telly, you can record
Yeah,
what's going on. Actually, probably
just record it.
record,
using-
and then we could just record of us
Yeah,
playing it, and you just put it over or film ourselves playing it or whatever. But that would be pretty cool to do. If you want to see us play any game in
Yeah.
particular, let us know. Someone did once ask us to watch a specific thing, and we did, and we probably will bring back we'll watch a pay-per-view thing, because now we've got all this set up.
Yeah.
We can probably come up with a way to do that as well. So yeah, get in contact with us. I hope you've enjoyed the show today. We've got more stuff coming up. Don't know what we've got, but keep an eye on the socials.
Slightly more light-hearted this episode, and
Yeah,
you know,
compared to some other episodes. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I think it's time to stop the damn match.